This week, A Complete Unknown drops in theaters. This is the latest film from James Mangold, the director of Walk the Line, and it is a return to that same genre where this time he's doing a biographical drama about the life of Bob Dylan. The main thrust of the story is about Bob Dylan's emergence as this folk singer-songwriter, his rise to fame, and then how he transitioned to being more of a rock band, and the effect on the world of music. In particular, it explores the dynamics in the folk community, which essentially was his springboard to fame. And all these people in that community helped serve him and get his foot in the door so that he could rise to fame. But then the way that his transition to rock shook their world and turned it upside down, and all the forces that he had to butt up against in order for that to happen. What the movie is great at is putting you in a time and a place. Whether you love Bob Dylan or you're brand new to Bob Dylan, it takes you back to the early 60s and helps you understand the world of music at that time and how this complete unknown was able to shake up the world of folk and thus bring it into the mainstream, as well as be highly influential in the world of rock music, and kind of just understanding how rock music and pop music, as we think about it, emerged from people coming from folk, blues, starting to merge all these things together and creating something new that has dominated popular music for the last 60 plus years. I've never specifically been a Bob Dylan fan. I tend to prefer covers of his songs than his versions of his songs. The movie itself I found interesting. I liked the movie, but I didn't fully love the film. And a big part of that is that Bob Dylan is always kind of kept at arm's length. It's kind of the point of the movie, is that he is this mystery that no one's been able to unpack exactly why he did what he did. Why did he treat the people the way that he did? We spend all this time with him, but it feels like we never kind of pierce the armor to get in and understand him. And I think I just needed more of that to be able to fully connect with the story and care about why he did all these things and changes when I don't know why. He just seemed like this aloof contrarian, which once again, the movie says that. But when you have someone you're following that it intentionally has them so far away, for me, that limited how much I could fully enjoy the journey that we were on when I didn't understand it fully. When you're looking at the life of someone that was so influential and looking at the moment in time that changed everything, the big question that you want an answer to is why? And that's the question that this movie kind of intentionally says, we don't know. He's a mystery. Along the lines of something I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of Bob Dylan as a performer. In fact, the only one of his songs I can think of that I like his version of it that I would put on and choose to listen to is Like a Rolling Stone, the song where the title of this movie comes from. So when you have a film that is filled with performances of his songs in the style in which he sings them, I'm just not really into that music. Like didn't listen to the songs and go, oh man, what a great song, what a great performance. And when the whole concept of the movie is people like seeing him perform and go, wow, this guy's so good. Wow, that was amazing. And you're not into it. There's a certain element where there's a disconnect there. Somewhat along those exact same lines, it's not Bob Dylan singing the songs. It's Timothy singing like Bob Dylan in that Bob Dylan style. And whatever you describe that style as, that, slightly flat, talk singing. I don't know. There's a reason I talk about movies too much and I don't talk about music too much. I don't have the vocabulary to describe Bob Dylan's singing mumble style or whatever. But so I just wasn't into the vast majority of the music in the film until we get to the pivotal final concert in the movie. And so that's such a big piece of it. So once again, one of those things that kind of keeps the movie at a little bit of arm's length. The performance from Timothy was an interesting one because Bob Dylan is such a distinct personality with a way that he talks and interacts with people, with this aloofness that I've kind of mentioned a few times in here. And you kind of see that in what he does in this film quite a bit. But for me, it's tough for me to not see the performance when I've seen him act in so many other things, and I know that he's not Bob Dylan. He's not like Bob Dylan. So like when I saw Elvis, I just saw I didn't see Austin Butler. I just saw this transformation into Elvis. And even with all the extreme Elvisisms, I just saw Elvis. I didn't see Austin Butler in there. I didn't feel that way with this movie, where maybe it's because I'm so much more familiar with Timothy, but I saw the performance more. I know a lot of people are praising it and he should get the Oscar and all things like that. I felt that way about Austin Butler a few years back. I don't feel that way about Timothy, and maybe it's just my familiarity with him. There's nothing that he did specifically wrong, but I can't get past the fact that I'm seeing him talk like Bob Dylan. I mean, performances here are all top-notch performances. James Mangold knows how to get great performances. That the Timothy thing, I think it is sometimes the problem with stardom is that you see the star. But all around, really good performances. James Mangold knows this genre, knows how to craft these movies and have the big dramatic moments. So there's a sense in which I'm being maybe more negative than I mean to be while talking about it. But it's not so much, it's not at all that the movie is bad. It's that it's a movie that some people are loving. They're loving that main lead performance, and they are saying it's one of the best of the year. And Walk the Line is one of these films that's highly been praised. And so you have the guy that did that film returning to the same genre. So once again, you kind of have that, is it up on that same level? I personally didn't have, I thought it was good. I thought it was well done. Found it interesting, but I didn't think it was that next level best of the year quality for me, or let's just give Timothy the Oscar right now. I'm not in that category at all with the film. So for me, I'll give this one a B+ on the entertainment scale, 7.5 out of 10. It's must-see for Bob Dylan fans, but if you're not a Bob Dylan fan, you could probably wait to stream this one in a little bit. And if you like the genre, you'll probably have a good time with the film, and it'll enlighten you to a time and a place. Let me know what you thought. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.